Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to model a book. I'm going to see if I can just model two of them, one where it's closed and one where it's open. And I'm just I know exactly what a book looks like in the back of my head, so I'm going to just dive in and do it. I'm going to start with a cube. It's going to be pretty simple to do. The closed one anyway. And then I'm going to select these faces and I'm going to click my extrude button. I'm going to extrude them inward, right? Something like that. And then I'm going to also make this a little bit more attractive. You could get away with that, but I think because, and I'm going to extrude these three faces one more time. I think we should add a little extra detail to it. And now I've got basically the cover and the back cover and the all kind of set up for me, but it's still a little off. So I'm going to go to my top view. I'm going to tap 4 on my keyboard, and I'm just simply going to snap these directly in place, holding V. Wait, before I do that, I was grabbing it from the center. I know what I just did. I did exactly what I didn't want to do. So that, if you saw what happened right there. So what I'm gonna do in here is I'm gonna do it on each axis. I'm gonna do it just on this one and then this one. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. And this will ensure that they're identical. So I'm only doing it dragging from the actual tool, not the center. And this should probably be out. Hold on. This one should be equal here. And then these two I don't want to be, and I just want it to have that sort of book notch in it. So now you can see that it's literally just like a basic book. That might be too deep, so let's go ahead and touch that up real quick. Let me make sure I just have those selected. And then I want this one, and this one, and that one, and that one. And that looks a little bit better. And now I've got a book. So the front cover, the side binding, and then the back cover, whatever you want to call it, and then the pages in between, and I would just texture this. Now, quick little thing, if I tap 3 on my keyboard, you'll see that it turns into this weird, almost like D, the letter D, because it's not ready. If you were to want to add additional topology to this model, you would need to do that hard surface modeling where you start to get all these edges and do the bevel and everything. And I'm gonna do it real quick. I think I'm gonna leave it low poly, like really low poly. But I do want to show you anyway. Or maybe I will, since I already came this far, but I just want to take a quick look-see. And then if I do that one, I might as well have to do that one. Did I just literally grab every single edge on this thing? Am I gonna bevel every edge? I think so. I was trying to limit it, but I think I may be grabbing every single one. Because I would need this one too. And then, yeah, probably every one but those corner pieces. Oh, I even grabbed them on these. Yeah, I think I grabbed every single edge on it. So let's just see what happens when I do my bevel edge. I'll hit the little box, do like 0.25, 2 segments, and just see what happens. And then tap 3 on my keyboard. And now if you look at it in smooth mode, it's actually much better. So anyway, it's just a quick little thing. However, I am going to undo it because I don't really need them right now. Plus, it's going to be a lot easier to unwrap when it's like in this state, and then I can, if I wanted to, I can bevel everything later. So anyway, that's the book. Now I'm going to try to do the same thing, and I was running into this issue here or there where I was getting some strange deformities, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Oops. So I'm going to do this one as the book open, and I don't know if this is even the best way to do it, but since I've already modeled it, I'm going to just roll with it. I know I'm going to need an edge down the center. I'm going to go at 50% there. I think I'm just going to start with that and see what happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start kind of cutting this book apart. And yeah, I'm going to need that one, that one, that one. I think that's everything I'm going to need. I don't think I'll need this part. So I ran into this issue, and I think it's really worth taking the time to hopefully mess it up and make sure that I can show it to you yourselves. I'm going to go to Edit Mesh, and I'm going to go to Extract. Now what's happened is I want to rotate this, and it's doing some really weird deforming, right, when I do this. And I did a quick Google on it because I couldn't figure it out. I figured it was a checkbox of some sort, but it's not. It's actually a grouping issue. So it's grouping both of these objects into the same group, and it's keeping some of those transform, which is giving it that weird bend when I do this. So if you select your group and you go to Edit, Ungroup, now it'll actually let me rotate how I would like it to. And this is going to be at 90. And then this is going to come down. And this book, now the cover will probably sort of have like an angle to it. But it's meant to bend. And if I can get one side right, I'll be pretty happy about it. And this typically will have a little bend in it too, so I'm going to grab just these vertices, sort of bring them up, and then here, I built this upside down, didn't I? I did. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and then I just grouped them, rotated them. I'm gonna do Edit, delete all by type history. I'm gonna do Modify, freeze transformations, and I'm gonna do an Edit Ungroup. So I'm still here. So I've got to figure something out with this, and these pages here are gonna have to be extracted too. I would think, yeah, probably. So, Edit Mesh, Extract. Didn't used to, as far as I remember, it didn't used to do this. I'm going to do Edit, Ungroup. And now I've got a couple more objects out of this. Now I'm going to combine this here. And now these pages are going to be a different story. So I need to basically create a bend in this, and we are going to hold shift, right click, and do add divisions to faces. I'm going to do linearly. I'm going to do 2. Nope. I'm going to do 2 here and bring this back down and hit apply. And that's going to be the start of it. Right, and then in here, I'm going to select that edge, close that real quick, and then I'm going to select that edge, and I'm going to use this nifty tool called the bridge tool. 0 subdivisions, no tape or anything like that, because that's the back cover of the book. And then the pages, I also need, this is going to need to go to here at some point, but it looks like I'm going to need a little bit more geometry in here. So I'm going to add another subdivision to these. Hopefully it does it in the right place. It does. And it's the start of my book. Okay, my open book. And once I have this first one done, I'm pretty much good to go. So now I can use that bridge tool. Oh. Okay. And now I also need to do it to the bottom. Okay. And now I need to get this to look normal. So I'm going to start just by snapping the bottom ones into place. And now this one, I might need to run an extrude. I'm going to select this entire edge loop, extrude this. I've never done a model like this before, so kind of learning as I go. I'm going to delete this face and the other side for now. I'm going to snap this one in place, turn off my B. And I'm going to snap this one in place. And that might work, actually. Where is that face? We're going to delete whatever that is. Let's see here. And it should kind of do it. I think that will work. I don't know what this is yet. Now this isn't going to work how I want it to. So I think I got the idea. I am going to extrude it all out from here. This vertice is going to snap to here. This one I'm going to snap back to here, and then I'm going to run a quick merge. Same thing here. Snap this one back to here. And then this one is going to come down to here. Now I've got the start of that sort of open book look to it. And edit mesh, extract. I'm going to combine these. I'm going to also edit ungroup all these things too. And edit delete all by type history because it's got all this weird stuff in it. And now I'm simply going to combine all of these. Go to my vertex tool, highlight them all, do a merge vertices with the little tool, add 0.001, hit merge, and now just see what it looks like when I hit the 3 button. So I say that works out pretty well. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this side. I am going to duplicate this. I'm also going to edit ungroup because it creates so many weird things when I do it. And I'm going to drag my pivot point over to here. And then I can flip it at -1 or rotate it around. Either way works. Flip it 180. And there's the sort of start of my book that's open. It's a little blocky, I see that, but I'm totally good with it. Now, one other thing is that there's usually a space in the binding here. So let's combine these first. Oops, merge vertices, merge vertices. So I got the start of this book, and I'm just tapping 3 to make sure that it's done properly. And then I'm going to use my cut tool from here just gonna eyeball it 90 whatever %. Press enter. There we go. 90% cut there to there. And cut here to here. %. And now I'm going to merge these to the center. Now, this is a thing that you could do. You could either texture it with that space there, or if you were going to get really complicated in the model, you could hold shift, fill hole. Or actually, that's not what I meant to do. I could select this one and select this one and do a bridge. And then it's all closed, but I don't know if that's really gonna be ideal. But that's kind of how the binding would look. And it's just such a strange model. It's almost like it should be 2 different ones. I feel like deleting these and then just doing a fill hole. May have just been better off keeping it before, but you're getting to see some quick little nifty tricks to do. Fill hole, and then I'm going to cut that just so the topology is right. And maybe instead, I know it's going to add a little bit, but it's going to be easier for me in the long run. And I just extrude them in a little bit. And then I've got a open book. I mean, your model doesn't have to be perfect. You can see I did this pretty quickly. What I do is soften edge here because it was pretty harsh there. Edit, delete all by type history, and I'm just going to name this open book mesh, and then closed book mesh. And there you have it. So I'll bring this up here. Once I add texture to it, it would, and I'm going to harden these edges. There we go. I think that just about did it. So now on the pages, they're soft, and edit, delete all by type history. I got too much going on, and I think I've got the start of my book. Now if I wanted to give it a little bit more curvature, I could. And if it doesn't seem like sorry about that. Just trying to do them equally. So if I wanted the book to look a little bit more full, maybe I grab these. You get the idea. Something like that. All right, and you can play around with it however you like. This should be a hard edge in the middle. Mesh, or hold shift, right click, soften, harden edge. So now I've got my opened page book, and I could add individual pages in there if I wanted to and animate them. So like, I'm just going to use a polyplane as example. Pretty quickly. And just get it to sort of fit it, right? But what I would do, I know this is too long, so what I would do from here, maybe let's do modify, freeze transformations, edit, delete all by type history, and then switch to my, no, just go to deform, nonlinear, try my bend tool first, and go to my attribute editor. It's rotating on the wrong angle, so I'm going to have to rotate that 90 degrees and then go back here. I don't know. Something like that. Or I could just sort of you get the idea. Do something like that, right? And then we get into animation next, but then I would have it sort of wrap around, and I'd probably have to play around with some of the properties on it, and you got yourself a little book that you could mess around with. Anyway, I'm going to stay away from that flipping page for now, but this is just a couple examples to do. If you wanted to have an open book, do the texturing on, all that kind of stuff. But I'll unwrap these in a separate video, but there's the models to my books. One closed, one open. I'm going to modify, well, let's just first put this in line with the grid. Make sure my origin, yeah, I'm at the origin on that. And then this one, whatever. Go ahead and bring that one back. Modify, freeze transformations. I'll do the same to that, and then edit, delete all by type history. And now I've got my two books, and all I got to do now, let me bring this up, is save it and get to unwrapping and texturing. This book is probably pretty simple, UV automatic, but I'm going to save it for another video where I cover unwrapping both these and then getting them in the scene. If you have questions, let me know, and shoot me a message on Canvas inbox. I'm more than happy to assist you in any way I can, and keep working on the midterms. Thank you so much. See you soon.